Greetings, developers, and welcome back to part 3 of the development teleport list. This one, we're actually going to be talking about the vehicle templates, or let's say you had, a vehicle-oriented style game. This one here is the setup that Unreal already has with, your basic vehicle. I think I changed my default pawn, so give me one sec. Let's say it's not the off-road pawn. I think it starts off as the sports car. There it is. So you can see here, here's my sports car. And we're going really fast. Oh my goodness. I am not very good at driving with the keyboard on this. All right, anyway. So let's say you had, a racing game, driving game, or space game, or, whatever. And the setup, you're probably asking yourself, how is my teleports? I actually have some pre-placed ones here, but we'll get to them. How are my teleports actually going to work? Yeah, actually, let's delete these just to show how these work. Oops. Grab those, delete that. There we go. Those were my initial testing ones, but we'll get there. So assuming that you've gotten up to this point with your setup on pulling in your development teleport component, and you've set this up on your player controller, yada yada, and now you're just wanting to start placing down some dev teleport locations. Well, hey, that's pretty cool, right? I can place them down. I think this one got where'd this one go? Oh, that's strange. Where did this one end up? Dev teleport. Did this one not get placed properly? Let's see. No, it did not. That's weird. All right, so let's drag and drop this guy in here again. Let's try that again. There we go. That one showed up. This one is just like set up. The basic one that I have here is the collision bounds for this thing is just for the size of a human, right? So that's not going to work for a vehicle, right? So if I jump into game and, go to my teleport location, well, that's kind of strange because you can see here, like, I'm bouncing in the air because that's not going to work. This is where the beauty of the actor test comes into play. And I have setups here where it actually adjusts in here inside of the actual dev teleport location besides, all the text stuff. I have, this is just for the showing off the camera rotation if you're going to force that. I have a teleporter offset. You don't have to manually change this. I'm doing this automatically for you. So you don't need to muck with this. You can if you want to. You can, set it up here if you really wanted to. As you can see, when I teleport to that location, it will teleport me to that offset location. But the reason why I'm doing that is when I'm actually doing a actor test, I'm offsetting it to your pivot point of your actor. So in this sense, if I actually want to test an actor class, I can test what pawn you're trying to test for. So let's say I wanted to do the sports car. Boom, look at that. It automatically takes in, and it basically just applies this to this child actor class if you're wanting to know how this is done. And I'm actually resetting the collision bounds of this particular teleport relative to everything that you have here. Only the colliding components. You can turn that off if you want to. I don't recommend it. But anything that's colliding with it should be the one that it's testing for. And then include the child actors as well. Like, let's say, I don't know, you had guns or something on your vehicle. But you can see here, it now has it set up so that it will offset relative to the collision of what your actor is. So you can see here I'm trying to shove it into the wall and it's not letting me, or shove it into the ground and it's not letting me. Unless you really force it, then it'll clip through and then it'll allow you to do something funny with it. But in essence, you can see here the pivot point of the car is actually down at the base of the vehicle. So if you design your vehicle with a particular origin point that's different than like the center of a character, so like the pelvis, which is usually common in most games. But if you had, I don't know, maybe you were an old school kind of developer where you're actually putting them at your feet, you can test your actor to make sure that it is set up with the appropriate positioning. So this way it's actually custom now to your game, and it will take everything that you're wanting for your particular pawns and wherever their pivot point is. So you can see here now with this thing called teleport location. When I hit teleport location, boom, I didn't see any bouncing in the wheels. As you can see here, I'm just bouncing or just teleporting constantly to that same location, and there is no bouncing. So if you really wanted to, right, if I'm going up to speed here and open up my list and teleport, boom, it just resets you back to whatever kind of location you want. And this also gives us time to show off some of the rest of the stuff with the teleport inside of this logic. If I am driving in a vehicle or like a physics-based game, you can do this with a marble game. Same idea. If it's a physics-based oriented game, even with character pawns, I made sure to set this up with character pawns. Maybe you're jumping in the air and you're hotkeying, to teleport to a particular location. You can force the velocity to 0 with this simple Boolean check mark right here. Now, when I'm actually jumping into game, actually, I'll just show you with the list. That's fine. I'll jump up, get up to speed here, pull up my teleport. You can see I'm still going at drift location. I teleport, boom, I've reset my velocity. And that is that simple for any particular physics-based game, vehicle-based game, whatever you want to do. As long as you're respecting the same the Unreal Physics engine. If you have a custom physics engine, you're going to have to make that your own custom setups. But if you're actually applying velocity and Unreal Physics understands what that velocity is, this will set your velocity to 0. So it'll stop any particular coasting or any velocity or angular velocity that you are trying to achieve. The same thing with character movement as well on normal pawns. This also works, as you can see here, if I change my thing to like an off-road car, and you can see the off-road car is a little bit different of a size. Here, we'll switch it back so you can see, just to demonstrate. You can see here, it's smaller, and then this guy is a little bit bigger. You might notice here when you're actually changing from like the sports car or from the off-road to the sports car, it is actually floating above. I don't have anything to constantly reset. Maybe you're doing a space game and that doesn't matter to you. So I would just recommend if you're changing back and forth from like a bigger sized, vehicle or bigger sized pawn to a smaller pawn, that you are not hovering above the ground. And you can just press end and it'll try to snap you to the collision that it finds underneath it. And that'll be fine for you. Or you can just use the arrow and then try to shove it into the ground, and it'll adjust as needed based on your your collisions. And hopefully you have correct collisions. I am not held responsible if you have collisions or collision issues with your geometry. Anyway, so yeah, it works with any additional different size pawn, and also to like validate this, right? Like let's say you wanted to muck with your, let's open up this class here. So this is the off-road car. Just to prove a point, we will take the chassis. So you can see here, here's the viewport. I'll maximize this. And let's say I wanted to take this chassis and move it really, really far out here. You'll see as soon as I'm setting this up and recompiling it, boom, it will take that into account. So this proves the point that it will take whatever odd geometry you're trying to do, and then still whatever pivot point you have as the origin of your pawn, it will teleport you to that location. But yeah, this all works. Here, I'll change my setup. Instead of the sports car will be the off-road pawn with this funny little setup, and here we go. We can teleport to that location. Boom. See, it still works no matter how screwed up or how massive or whatever I've done with my geometry. But yeah, that is the benefit of this particular system. I'll just undo that. I guess I can recompile, save, and is that going to update? Oh, that's odd. Let's reset this so we can go back to sports car and to off-road pawn. There we go. Yeah, it works. So It just needs a quick update. You could probably even reload the level and it'll do the same. So don't worry about that. That's probably more of just a visual thing and an update bug that I don't account for any of your recompilings or rechanges of all your pawns and everything that you're doing. But regardless, this should work for what you're trying to do with your custom pawns and however they're going to be placed in the level. So you can see here, I can take this teleport location. I had this one called, like, I don't know, start. Just start. That's fine. And then this one, I will copy this guy over here. Oops. I need to press and hold Alt. There we go. And then this one was called speed bumps. Speed bumps. And, it gets the point across. Force that to 0 velocity, and you can set these hotkeys, and it works just the same as all of the other templates that we've done up to this point already. So if I hit Shift F1, you can see there, I'm actually up in the air, as you can see there. I'll just press N to make sure I'm on the ground. I should do the same thing with this guy. There we go. He's on the ground now. And now, jump into game, Shift F1, hey, 0, and then Shift F2, there we go. Boom, done. It's as simple as that. All right, there you go. Hopefully this works out as well for your vehicle games or physics-based games or whatever you want to do with your particular pawn. And yeah, I thank you so much again for purchasing my development teleport tool, and I hope it works out for you in your game and your development needs as you see fit. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.